Right, welcome back everyone to episode 29. We're still in Orul's Crypt and we've got two more of these skull keys to find for this lock and this one. Last time out we headed this way into this puzzle down here with the spikes, so we've got two more left. So I think we need to either go this way or this way. So let's do this side first. The Mausoleum. So we've got the Trickster in the distance. So what we'll do is we'll hit the Trickster with a spell, and then some monsters will come out of some secret passageways. And once we hit the Trickster, we'll run back here to fight them in isolation. So pick your ranged spell or use a ranged weapon. Then come in here, step left, shoot, and then head out. Lightning works well because there's more of these skeleton dudes to deal with. But lightning doesn't do so well against these guys. But try to kill him as quickly as you can, because the Trickster's going to come through soon. Like that. One decent attack should see the Trickster F. There we go, is that enough now? I think he's running away. So yeah, that takes all the sting out of the fight. Now you can just chip away at your own speed. There'll be a couple more guys still left in here. Yeah, there's one in the distance. I think there's some fire bombs in one of the alcoves over here. Yeah, here they are. Two lightning bombs. This is the pad that I think the Trickster was standing on, so when you pull him, I think pressing that opens all those passageways the enemies came out of. It doesn't do anything now. There could still be two more guys around here. Some, yeah, here's two more stacks. These ranged guys do hit quite hard. Much more than the melee guys. Oh, out of energy. Right, and with them gone, you can now concentrate on solving the next puzzle. So to open the door to escape, we have to land something on the pressure plate you can just see in the distance. So there's two things we have to do. We have to open this door in front of us, and I've also got to get rid of that force field in the distance which is blocking the pressure plate. So the easy bit is getting rid of this door. If you look down here, you can see another pressure plate. So put any item on that, you'll get it back in a little bit, so you can drop anything you want down there. Just wait for the force field to disappear and then drop something down. Now you'll still see in the distance that force field is still there. The force field gets deactivated for a couple of seconds when you stand on this. If you're just watching the distance there, you can see it's gone now. Now it comes back. It's only down for a very short space of time. So what you need to do is take a ranged weapon, and then when you stood here you need to throw it, and you have to throw it when this force field in front of us won't be there, and then as you throw it you step forward onto the pressure plate, so by the time our stone misses the first force field, the second one gets deactivated by us standing on this plate. So to time this right, you want to throw this while this shield is still active, but right near the end of its active life. So we'll try to time that here. There you go. Done. So the timing is quite delicate there. And then you get access to the room there, so you can pick your items up again. You know, maybe you want your stone, but I don't think we do. You get some crossbow quarrels, and you can pick up your item that you used to weigh the pressure plate down with. And then teleport back up and head out the door. And so this next puzzle is quite an interesting one. If we just head down to the far end. Let's get hit by this actually. Okay. So initially we have 4 force fields in front of us, and the exit is actually 3 force fields deep. The exit's to the left here. So there's a button at the entrance over here which deactivates all 4 force fields, and you have to get from one end of this room to the other without any of these beams hitting you, which will activate when you press the button. If you manage to get to the end by only getting hit once, you'll be able to escape, but you'll miss the treasure chest. So ideally, you want to activate, dodge all 4 of these missiles, and then you can access the treasure chest at the end. So with a little bit of timing and a touch of luck. So you press the button, and all these activate, and they start spitting back and forth. The teleporters are disabled. So the first one here, you can just walk past it, that's easy enough. Now I find, to get into here, it's best to stand this way, walk straight to the end, left one, and then forward. So what I like to do is look at this one directly in front of us. As the right side spits it out, you can make a run for it forward. So I'll try and do that. You need to get these ones kind of synchronised as well, so it might take 1 or 2 attempts for the rhythm to kick in. Yeah, just got hit there. But once you've got them in sync, it's actually quite easy. And luckily, because there were no monsters in this room, there's no real pressure. There we go, done. And this last square here, you can stand on this and have a look. Now the one little trick here, I've always found this treasure chest to be a mimic. Now what the developers wanted you to do here was open this chest, realise it's a mimic and panic and run backwards, and then once you run backwards you go and get hit by one of these, and then all these force fields come back up again, forcing you to do the puzzle from scratch. So when you actually open this chest, don't panic. Either run this way to avoid the mimic, or just tank it and blow him up. So let's see. There we go. And there you go. Easy enough. Once you know what's going to jump out. And we get a Diviner's Cloak. We've already got one of these on a Jasmin here. It gives you plus 20% energy regen, which Galden definitely needs. So the question is, do I get rid of the plus 30 energy? So get rid of max energy to replace it with energy regen. I think that's a better trade. I mean, 30 energy isn't even enough for a special attack. They take 80 in this case, or 40 here. So I think more regen between fights is going to be more use than max energy. I don't think anyone else needs this, so I'll leave it behind. And then we've got the key over here, and this is the shortcut back to the start. So we can pick up the key, and the last item we have is the Knuckles of Steel, which give us protection, strength, and dex. So it's quite good really, and any kind of frontliner who needs protection, as the strength and dex will also be beneficial to damage and evasion and so on. But in my case, I've already got these special gloves, the Crystal Gauntlets in Nico's case, and the Meteor Gauntlets in Oliver's case. So maybe in the back line, Galden might want these, but to him the protection's useless, and his current gloves already give him plus 4 strength, So that's kind of a downgrade for strength, with only a bit of dex to make up for it. So I don't think anyone needs these, to be honest, so I'll put them back where I found them. And move on. And now here's the way back to the start with the teleporter here. That's the Mausoleum done. I think the next one's at the bottom side. So I'll get rid of my key here by putting it in. Right. Then this is the laboratory. I know we've been here already, my mistake. It's the other way we went, at the top I think. It's easy to get these things mixed up. Yeah, here we go, yeah, the sanctuary. So in here we've got a couple of enemies behind this gate, so we'll leave that shut. And there's also an enemy behind here. You might be able to hear it flapping out of the right ear there. But before we do that, there's another special weapon to get. We can deactivate the teleporter with this. And press the button here. You can just see the button through the teleporter. And I think there's someone behind here, a skeleton. We don't care about him. Yeah, and that guy comes out of this wall here. So either kill the skeleton quickly, I'll move back into this central area and try and kill one of them first. And we get this really interesting weapon, the scythe. Now if you compare it to our kind of active strength weapons, they do like 27 to 82 damage, 24 to 72 in Oliver's case. But what the scythe does is quite strange. Its special attack actually has a chance of scoring 10 times damage on a critical hit. Now I'm not sure what the chance is. It's relatively low, I think. But if that 10 times damage triggers on a boss fight, you can almost like one-shot the boss. It's kind of really powerful, but you got to play on that small chance of landing it. So I think I'll use it just to show you. Maybe we'll try and get a critical hit. And at least on this item, the scythe, the energy cost is only 40, because you might need to use it quite a lot to get the magic crit. But apart from that, the regular cooldown is 3.5 seconds, which is really nice compared to our current items of 5 and 6.3 seconds. But its regular damage is less than half when it's not critting. But again, the good thing about the scythe, its regular critical hits deal triple damage, and you get a +5 crit chance just by equipping the item. If we look at Galden's stats now, his regular crits are 22%, and they'll crit for 3 times damage. But it's when you're doing special attacks that the item really pays off. Keep an eye on the damage here. I'll try and land one. And it's completely random, but well, if this guy explodes instantly, you'll know I've landed it. That was a miss, even worse. So that was just 63 damage. Let's try and land another one. There you go, 728 damage. So yeah, nice when you get the crit. There's a couple more of those floating eye thingies in here. Is he going to shoot? Come on. Try and have a bit more critical strike fun. 556 damage. But yeah, I know the last time I picked up this item, the boss of this area, Orul, Wormbound, I pretty much one-shot him with a critical. His health went from about max to around 10% in one hit. And before you forget, you may as well turn the teleporter back on. so you know where it is later. So we'll put that weapon away for now. But in the boss fight, I might equip that just for fun. It's not like we're sort of short of damage or anything. Yeah, so all pathways lead into this area here. So the way out is in the distance there, but you can just drop down here. There might be 1 or 2 items to pick up. Yeah, energy potion. We'll give that to Nico. Galden, sorry. Actually, I don't think I showed you the glowing effect when you have a full crystal set. So if I equip the shield there, you can just see the armour start to glow compared to without it. And if you look at Nico's health up here, it says 220. When you equip the full set, you get 295. So that's a 75 boost in health. So maybe in some fights, if I don't need to dual wield, I could equip that for a bit more survivability. But it's not really kind of core to the build. And a rage potion. Put that back here. It's this way to get out and carry on. Yeah, so it's a pretty simple puzzle here. So we've got kind of a gate here and a gate here, and eventually we have to open this door. So the only thing we can do is walk into here, and it puts us on the right side of the teleporter. We pull this to just open this door so we can escape. And then we get this note. We just see the axe on the floor there, and the note says, "I decided to drop my trusted axe into the teleporter to see if it is safe. I wish I would know where it went," and it went there. So it's pretty obvious what the answer is, but it's kind of a... If English isn't your first language, you might not quite understand why it's the solution. It's the word drop in this sentence. The guy was here and he dropped his axe, meaning he placed it in the ground. So if he were to place it, that's why it's gone here. So if we can throw it into this teleporter with more than a drop's worth of pace, it'll go further than the axe and land on the pressure plates. So if you just throw something into here, rather than dropping it like this guy did, it'll land on the plate there, and this door will open. And the axe that we get, it's quite powerful. 18 to 55 damage, and the cleave special attack is nice, but the regular cooldown is 7 seconds, and given it's not even the highest strength weapon we've got, it makes it kind of unusable really. 7 seconds is just too much. So here's the final puzzle before we get the key. So you get a load of these pink areas on the floor, and whenever you step off them, they disappear, so you can't go back the way you came. And any of these pressure plates restarts the puzzle. So what we need to do here is sneak to the end first, and it says, when the room is void of light, the door will open, and that means this door here. So what we need to do is step on all of these plates in such a way that when we step off the final one, every single light will be gone. So we've got to stand on everything on our way to the door. So there's two, before I show you the solution, there's two kind of little breakthroughs you can have when thinking about it. If you were to stand on this one first and go anything but left, for example if I go right here, you'll see now that this part is isolated. So the only way you could stand on this is if you went round the back here, and then once you're stood here you'd have nowhere else to go and you wouldn't be able to get to the door. So if you get rid of this block here and you don't go that way, you're going to be in deep trouble and you can't fix it. Then the next final sort of thing to realise is this kind of corner area here. This structure kind of messes up your puzzle a little bit. So if I just go around this way to describe something. So if we're coming into this area from this direction, we have to stand here. Now, if as we're stood here, we still have all of these areas left, there's actually no way we can get round there and activate all of these tiles. If we go forward to this one, there's no way we can get here and then get back over here. I can demonstrate that if I go here now, if I go this way, these three will be isolated and we've lost. And if I go forward here, again this one's going to be isolated. So what you need to do is you need to think of a way of getting into this corner and getting out again. And the trick is, if this square that I'm on has already been claimed, as we come down here, we can step onto this one to our left, then we can go forward, right, forward, and exit this area via this way, and all of these squares around here will have disappeared. So the ultimate solution is to step on this one and go that way, like we know we have to, so we'll do that. And then once we've stepped in this area, we want to kind of cut the room in half here by stepping on all these ones now. So if we do this, you can see here how all of that side has just been cut off now. We don't need to go back there again. Now once I'm here, I've now got to step on this square now. If I don't step on that one, I'll have no way of getting to it afterwards and getting off again. So I've got to step here. And then once I'm here, I've only got one choice, is to step forward. Now you want to leave these two tiles up so that you can kind of step here, here, and exit, because you need to finish on the platform over here. So once I'm on this one, I want to go this way, and then forward. And now that I've already removed this square here, it means I can solve this corner, like this, and get out again. And then once I'm here, it's forward, left, forward, right, forward, everything's deactivated. Take a step back, and we're done. So to work out that one yourself, you just need to make that little realisation at the start of how to solve the corner area, and that how you have to kind of not end up coming around this way. You have to start going this way. And then once you've done that, we get the skull key, and it's just a straight exit out of this place now. We get a little bag as a reward with some alchemy ingredients. Oops. And then the ladder leads to a solid wall, so we pull the lever, wait for that to open. Then we can head up and out. So that's the final one done. So when we insert the final key, I think it's into this one, this door will open with the power gem in there. And where's it again? And another door will open, wherever it is, this one, with the treasure chest inside. So there are two, and when you open the final lock, the boss teleports in and a load of enemies appear as well from inside the walls. So there's two ways to deal with this. The first one is to put the key in, step into this alcove here, turn around and just fight everything face to face with two tanky guys on your front line. You'll have no trouble just blowing away anyone who's in front of you, including the boss. The second option is to, again, put the key in, instantly come in here, grab the power gem, and run behind this wall and hide. Then you go invisible, either via air magic or invisibility rod. When you put the final key in, this wall's going to open and a creature's going to come out. So you wait behind here for this creature to come out while you're invisible. As soon as it comes out to around here, you burst into here, press a button on the wall, which opens this door, then you run away and you're done, and you don't even bother killing the boss or anything in here. This boss is kind of optional. And if that strategy goes wrong and you end up being caught, you'll probably end up being caught and isolated in this room, in which case you just turn around and tank them face to face like you were going to do with your first plan. It's up to you really. You can either try and avoid the fight, or just tank it face to face. So given I avoided one of the fights earlier with those fire elementals up here, I may as well use the tanking strategy for this one. Now just for fun, I'll use the scythe to see if I can blow away most of the boss's health in one hit. We'll see how that goes. So we put the key in, we dive into that door, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, you can use the invisibility strat as well. Might as well pick up the gem. Yeah, you can just wait here now. And the boss is one of those undead guys, so lightning attacks will wreck him pretty badly. So you just see the boss in the distance there. Some of the regular enemies in this room may not even aggro either. Are we going to get a flying dude first? Yeah. Okay. It's the boss now, so let's try and... Yeah, the boss's health goes down pretty quickly there. Because I got a crit and now he's dead. Yeah, and that's the boss. Pretty simple if you land one of those magic critical attacks. And depending on how much strength you've got, you'll blow him away quickly or slightly slowly. You saw there the attack, the charged attack, did 23 damage. And if you don't crit, it doesn't do a great deal. So we've got the power gem. And now for the record, I'll show you about the invisibility strat. So if you did stand here, you'd wait for the flying creature to come out, then you'd quickly... You'd wait a second, go invisible, bail out, run in here, push this button, and then run out of the room and escape. No need to actually kill anything. The boss doesn't drop any magical items or anything. Let's try to get one more critical, just for fun. Yeah, 830 damage. And then let's unlock. Yay, another mimic. This chest always seems to be a mimic as well. So whether it's guaranteed, I'm not quite sure, but it's every time I've done it. So we've got a willpower potion. Yeah, we'll give that to Galden. More energy. And the brace of fortitude. So it's strength and health regen. Pretty good. So we've got two guys who need strength. So Oliver's got the crit booster, where he takes a bit more shock damage, but the minus shock resist is barely noticeable. So he could possibly lose some crit in order to gain health regen or strength, or we give it to Galden. But Galden really wants the energy regen of this one. So we'll give this one, we'll give the brace of fortitude to Oliver. And this one, I think we've already got one of these. Yeah, Nico's already carrying one but not using it. So there's no, we don't need two, so we'll get rid of that. And that's it, we're done. We've got 3 power gems. The last one is in the next castle. So we'll have a quick heal on the crystal. Oops, I missed that earlier. Shield potion. With 2 guys in the front line, wearing heavy armour. Those shield potions don't come in a great deal of use. And then yeah, down from the stairs here, you can take the wind gate back to the surface. It's daytime. That's the old bone sword that we didn't pick up earlier. So I think for me now, I need to head back to the stash, store a few things, do a bit of inventory management, and then when you join me next time, I'll have my 3 power gems ready. Just need the 4th, and I should be, I think, outside Castle Nex. Then we'll storm into here. So I'm thinking maybe we might have 3 episodes left, possibly. Aha, there's some creatures in the distance here. I think there is some kind of ambush here as well, where a bunch of those... Oh, that's nice. A few more of these guys. Let's have some fun. 485 crits. 827. Nice. Yeah, there aren't many bosses who'll stand up to receiving 2 crits in a row. Yeah, and these mummies get completely wrecked by the meteor hammer, as it does fire damage as well. Nice, getting some nice bonus attacks there. Not the best place to get the freeze, but whatever. Aha, here's what I was telling you about. One of the ambushes. And again, I might as well trigger the ambush there. Gives us a chance to land some crits for fun. Nice. Crypt City for Galden today. Ah, nice elemental in the distance. That must have spawned earlier actually when we got the power gem from the middle of the island. I just mustn't have spattered it. Well, I'll get the bonus XP from it anyway. Oh, backstabs. Nice, double backstab. Right, let's try and kill that fire element, the ice elemental, before we sign off. Right, can we see him? Oh, he's way in the distance, okay. Whoops, that was good. Should be a ladder straight ahead of us here. What? Annoying. Unfortunate that the ice elemental was blocking the top of the ladder. Can't get worse timing than that. Well, this is dragging on for longer than I intended. But I've called it, so I'm going to kill him. I'm determined now. Let's do a fast shield. Whack. Well, that's enough drama for today, I think. Well, thanks for sticking with me till the end. There's not many more episodes to go now. Maybe 2 or 3, like I said. We'll see what kind of speed we make in the next episode. But thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the final few episodes, and I'll see you very soon.